Good morning. Sum2, last half term of year 5, and it is time to do a little bit of English. You'll notice it looks a bit different. I've used the do now sheets that we have at school, mainly because, one, it's a little bit of a time saver for me because in the next few weeks I'm going to have to be going into school a bit more. Two, it's really hard. I'm starting to run out of ideas of mixing up some of the do now questions. So I'm using some aimed at the top end of year 5. There's still everything that we've been doing. So let's have a look. Can you write the sandwich shop worker's words in a direct speech sentence with the reporting clause before the inverted commas? I like these very wordy questions, but you know exactly what you need to do. So, there you go. The shop worker asked, "Can I help you?" Very simple. That's the reporting clause, because it's telling you who said it. And there is the speech in inverted commas. Inverted commas, remember, is just another word for speech marks. I've got a comma here to show that's the reporter clause and I've got something coming afterwards. And it's on a new line because, well, I've not had anyone else speak, so this is the new speaker. Boom. Bish bash bosh. Next one. Write 2 separate sentences using the word march as a noun and then as a verb. So, for the noun, lockdown was in March. That's the name of the month. Then verb, I started writing he marched to school, but that's not the word march. That's marched. So, let's march home. There we go. I feel like I've just said march loads of times now. Next one. I'll bring it closer. 2 suitable conjunctions to complete the gaps. Now, sometimes you need one conjunction for both gaps, but it clearly says 2 suitable conjunctions in the gaps. If there's one at the start, there's no way it's going to be a coordinating conjunction. It's going to have to be a subordinate, so a white bus. I've gone for because the referee checked the pitch, the children still played the football match. You could have, but it was raining, but I've gone for even though it was raining. Because they're still playing even though it was raining. I like this one, the Mr. Whoops. He's been meaner than me. He's jumbled up 2 individual modal verbs and put them into one big jumble. Oh man. I looked at this and I think I got it quite fast though. The two modal verbs are should and might. Oh, there's another one because and even though. Should and might. And then the last 2 I can just point at. You've got to find the relative clause and circle the modal verb in the sentence. So we know the relative clause, which are one of the few flightless birds. There's your relative clause because it relates to the ostrich. The modal verb is it can. So the word is can. Can run up to 70. You could change that to should. Should run up to. Or should it? Probably doesn't make sense. So can is the modal verb. You need to write another sentence about another animal, or a different bird, it can be a different animal, that has a relative clause and a modal verb. Dead easy, guys. Literally follow the structure. Just replace that with another animal. Cheetahs, comma, which is the fastest land animals, comma, should eat at least once a week, I believe it is, or twice a month, something like that. So, just follow the structure. This last one here. Write an exclamation sentence about the picture. So a sentence that ends with an exclamation mark. You could put, how did you do, you could put, watch out, exclamation mark. Write a question, could be, how did you slip on that, question mark. And then a command can be, don't step on the banana skin. Command is literally, do or don't do this. Okay? Lovely. On to our task. Alright, so I thought it would be... we've gone a bit wonky, there we go. I thought it would be a good idea to have a look at some formal letter writing. In the current news at the moment, there are a lot of things. There's a lot of issues around the world at the moment. A lot of opinions around the world as well. I thought it'd be a good idea to recap how to put a formal letter of complaint or an issue that you have properly. Because I think we're getting a lot of what you call keyboard warriors, which we've discussed in online safety before, which is where, because you're just on screen, you type in your, what you think, boom, post, here's what I think, the world must listen to it. Actually, you need to go a bit more formal and get your meaning across, and you'll probably be listened to a lot more. So, the other reason is, like I put on here, a lot of you started emailing me using your parents' email address, and I've seen a really big difference straight away in your writing skills with, the formality of it. You know me, so you know you can be casual, but the way you're writing it is still a good email style, so it's really good to see from some of you. And like I said, it's a huge life skill writing formally. You'll need it for a letter for a job. You'll need it if you do have a complaint, or, like I said, simply to email someone. There's a standard to how you write. So we're going to have a revisit of writing formal letters, because we did one for Victorian Workhouse. And all we need to do today is read through it, remind yourself of it, and then just jot down a few ideas of letters of complaint for yourself. We've got current news and recent product. I'll come back to that. So, here's your layout. You've got your address, where you want it addressed to. Remember, you put yours so they can reply back. Obviously, if it's an email, you don't do that. But, you might be sitting there going, oh, I don't write letters. Yeah, but you're definitely going to write an email, and it's going to look exactly like this. Okay? So don't forget, you've got your introductory paragraph, why you're writing to that person. And then, hopefully you'll remember that Mr. Cooper allowed you to pee all over your work. And we learnt how to do a good P that had good flow and how they also linked. So once you've done one P, how you can start another P straight away and continue peeing. And then when you stop peeing, you finish off well. So have a read through that. Start trying to read through and think about some of the features. How do we link them? Can you spot the P? Can you remember what P even stood for? I won't tell you today. And then, bullet points. What would your letter of complaint be? So, like I said, there's current news. It could be the school issue at the moment in the lockdown with the news. It could be something else in the news. It could be about a certain MP in the news. Something you're not happy, something that you've heard in the news. You think, what? Why? Or I'm not happy with that. Could be the news in America at the moment due to the huge protests and riots they're having due to black rights. Maybe you want to put your thoughts into a formal letter. It might require some more research, which I highly recommend you do. With whatever news area you look at. It could be a recent product. It could be that you've bought something recently. We're doing a lot of online shopping. Maybe you've bought something that you thought it was something and it actually wasn't what it said. Maybe you got something and it was missing a part, or it just simply wasn't what it described. So there's lots of things you can do. If you really not got any ideas, have a little chat with some of your parents or somebody in your house. Have they had something recently that you think, actually, yeah, I'm going to write about that? So, have a read, and then bullet point 2 or 3, maybe 4 different things that you want to write about. There's no point doing it if you don't want to write about it. Maybe it could be as simple as something you don't like on a game. There's been an update, and you're like, why have they changed that? Okay, so think about something that is meaningful for you, that you know you will be able to write about, and that you know enough about, or you are willing to research. Okay, and I look forward to doing this week. I think we're going to have some very powerful writing.